Today we're going to be doing an invoice overview. So firstly, what we can do is go to our finance section and then go to invoices and then customer invoice search. You can then click on your desired invoice through this page, but you can also do a multi-select. You can use your column selector. You can also delete all the selected invoices that you have. We have a date range, a fresh invoice button. We have our defaults and updates for customer, agent, and staff users. And then we also have a overall filter that we can apply. Now let's go ahead and click into our invoice. And once we're in here, we can take a look at a few settings that we have. So you have your invoice information, additional information, and price summary screens. Then you have your consignment details down on the right hand side. We have our additional tab where we have user comments, export events, tools, and system events. This can be where a lot of valuable information is. We have a reprice invoice check and a validate invoice check. And in our consignment details, we can go to a consignment, we can open it up in a new tab, go to the finance section, and we can adjust the finance on this individual consignment from here. And of course, you can also go to invoice actions and move this consignment to another invoice. Now, if we go back to our invoice, we can perform a bulk actions task. We can do this by selecting the select all button and selecting all of our consignments. And then once we've selected all of our consignments, we can select the hamburger icon and move all of these to another invoice. Another thing that we can do is we can go to our additional tab and reprice all of our consignments at the same time. So now if we go back to our consignment details tab, you'll be able to see that all of these are now white. There is, however, one consignment that needs to be fixed. So if we click on this, on the right hand side we can see the details and we can also see the rating notes. So let's click into our consignment and double check to see what the issue may be. Once in the finance tab, we can actually see that there is an additional service there with a 0 price. So the only issue that we have is that we have to remove our additional service or add a price. In this instance, I will remove it as it is unapproved and not required. Now all we need to do is just reprice the consignment. And as you can see, it is now pricing correctly. So now if we do a refresh, it will now be white. Now the next step for us to do, now that our invoice pricing has been finalized, we can close our invoice. We can approve and draft, or we can approve and lock the invoice. We won't do this yet, as we will display how you can do this in the bulk actions or mass actions invoice tool. If we go to finance, invoices, and customer invoice mass actions, we can click on the select all button or just in the checkbox located on the left hand side and bring up the buttons that have lock and final approval, and then we have draft approval. This means that we can lock with final approval on multiple invoices. After we have done this, we can go back to our original invoice by going to invoices, customer invoice search, and then we can double click into our invoice, close it, and then approve and lock, and then confirm approving and locking. Now, if you would like to know how to export these invoices via EDI, please refer to our video that goes into a detailed explanation on how to do this. And that is your invoice overview. Thank you for watching.